Hi everyone, welcome back. So the next topic we're going to look at in relation to algebra is solving word problems. We did do a little bit of this last year, but we're going to work on that even more. So algebra, which you've already used a fair bit now, is a great tool for solving lots of different problems, but it's especially useful in turning word problems into something we can solve mathematically. So, this is a list of strategies that you can use each time you want to use to solve a word problem using algebra, which is something we're being assessed on this term. Okay, so to solve a word problem using algebra, first thing you need to do is read the problem and try and figure out what the question is actually asking for. Once you've done that, you should define a variable. So that just means give the unknown in the problem a letter, define a variable, and write a statement saying what that is. So let x be the number of whatever the things are in the question. The variable is usually what we've been asked to find. We need to write an equation using the variable and the other facts that are in the question. So sometimes you might be asked to double it, triple it, take some away, add some to it, something like that. So all of that needs to be looked at. Then you need to actually solve the equation, the normal way we've been working to solve algebra equations. And the last thing we need to do is answer the question in words, because as you know, with word problems, we should always write our answer in the form of words as well. Okay, so let's try these methods. We've got 3 problems here, and for each one we're going to write an equation and solve for the unknown. So let's follow those steps. So the first thing is to read the problem, try and figure out what's being asked. So question 1, 3 less than a certain number is 9, less than 4 times the number. So we've got 2 sides to an equation here. Now, what we need to do before we do anything is define a variable. So that's just make the unknown in the problem a letter. I'm going to use x because x is the most commonly used unknown. So what I'm going to do first is define my variable. Let x be the number we are looking for in this case. Now, while you're still getting used to it, it might be a good idea to look at each separate part of the word or the word problem separately, and then before you try and put it together in an equation, and write a mathematical expression for each separate part of the equation. So let's look at this one in 2 separate parts. So 3 less than a number. So the part of the equation that says 3 less than a number, we can use together with that variable we've defined to write an expression. So in this case, the number is x, and we want 3 less than that. So we would take 3 away. So x minus 3 is exactly the same as saying 3 less than a particular number that we've defined as x. Now the second part says is, or equals to, 9 less than 4 times the number. So let's look at the 9 less than 4 times the number. Now there is no need to write this stuff in each one of your problems, but until you get used to it, it's probably a good idea to do that, because often people find this quite difficult, turning word problems into algebra or maths. So 9 less than 4 times the number. So remember, our number is x. 4 times that number would be 4x, and we want 9 less than that. So don't be afraid to write it out of order at the start as you are putting it together. So 9 less than 4 times the number is 4x minus 9. Now, is or equals to means we can put these 2 mathematical expressions together and write one equation. So what this is going to give us is x minus 3 equals 4x minus 9. Now you can see we've got an equation there that's exactly the same as the type of equation that we've been solving. So what we need to do is collect like terms, simplify and solve as we've been doing. So let's do that. So I'm going to move, in this case, I'm going to move the 4x over to the left-hand side. I know mostly we've done it the other way so that we've ended up with a positive x term, but let's do it this way so we get some more practice moving it and working with a negative x term. So x minus 4x, because I'm going to take 4x away from both sides. Now at the same time, I'm going to move the minus 3 over to the other side. So I have to add minus 3 to do that, so that will become 9x minus 9 plus 3. Now simplify, minus 3x equals minus 6, and solve. Now of course, we have to divide both sides by minus 3, and negative 6 divided by negative 3, which is what this is, gives us a positive result. So it's important to note that the negatives cancel as well as the numbers. If you have a negative in the top and the bottom of the fraction, as we do here, your answer is going to be positive. Only if we have a negative in the top or the bottom will we be left with a positive number. So we've done almost everything, but the very last thing said answer the question in words. So in this case, something as simple as therefore the number is 2 would be enough. Obviously, if the word problem was something that involved a particular situation, you would write your answer in the words of that situation, which is what we're going to be working with as you go through in your questions. But let's have a go with the next question we've got here. So 7 is added to a number and the result is then multiplied by 3. The result is 9. Okay, so first I'm going to do is let x be the number. I'm going to define my variable. Now, let's do the first part. 7 is added to a number and the result is then multiplied by 3. So our number is x, we're adding 7 to it, and then all of that is being multiplied by 3. So the first part of this equation, 7 is added to a number and the result is then multiplied by 3, is 3 multiplied all of x plus 7. Now, so that's the first part. Then the result is, or that is equal to, 9. And you can see we've managed to build ourselves an equation that we can actually solve. Now, same as what we've worked with before, we've got a bracket there, so the very first thing we need to do to solve for x is to distribute the 3 to the bracket. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 7 is 21, equals 9. We need to collect our like terms. 9 minus 21, 3x equals minus 13. Sorry, just heading back to the rest of that equation. Of course, the answer there is not minus 13, it is minus 12. Now, we need to simplify so that we get down to just x. So minus 12 divided by 3 will give us minus 4. And of course, we should finish off our question in words. So the number is minus 4. Okay, last one. A number when doubled results in a number that is 5 more than the number itself. So sounds a little bit complex, but the very first thing we're going to do is again define the variable and then let's break it down. A number when doubled, so x is the number. When we double it, or write 2 times x, results or is equal to a number, again the same number, x, that is 5 more than the number itself. So 2x equals 5 plus, or x plus 5 more. So 2x equals x plus 5. Now, this one's pretty simple to solve. 2x minus x is going to give us x, which is going to give us 5. So in this case, the number is 5. Obviously, the hardest part of this type of question is actually writing that equation, writing that expression. So don't be afraid to give it a go, and don't be afraid to write down a variable and then work out of order. That's perfectly fine and a reasonable way to do it. So that is it for this. Now you're going to do exercise 2F. There's a fair few questions there. You really need to practice this. I will also upload to Canvas extra word problem practice. so that you can do that even more, because this is usually where people have the most trouble. And the homework for the next lesson is to watch the inequality screencast. That is the next topic, and take notes. Any problems, please see me in class.